Hey guys, it's Rich Boy J here back again with another video, and this is 7 things that LEGO can do to ensure that the upcoming UCS Cloud City set is an instant classic. If you weren't aware, there is a heavily rumored UCS Cloud City set dropping in October of this year. We have seen minifigures from it leaked. You guys can find those on the internet, and I think at this point it's pretty safe to say that this set is going to happen. This is the most exciting I've ever been for a LEGO set to come out, and for a few reasons. Anyone who's been a fan of LEGO Star Wars has known that the LEGO Star Wars Cloud City figures have been so elusive. The original set that came out is very rare. I get the impression that it wasn't really mass produced, which meant that the minifigures in it are hard to get, and there's at least 3 figures in that set that are worth $70 and up, whether it be the Lando figure, the Bespin Luke, which is really only valuable for the belt, and the Leia. Those figures are very sought after, and it's nice that we're finally going to get some sort of update for those. It's been over 10 years. I think that set dropped in 2002. It is now 2018, and finally we are seeing the Bespin iterations of our characters done some justice in an updated form in a LEGO minifigure. What that means is that I think LEGO has a lot of pressure on them to make sure this set is really good and lives up to the hype. A lot of people have high expectations for this set, and coming off of the heels of the UCS Falcon around this time last year, I think that LEGO has a lot to live up to, and these are some things that I'd really like to see in this set to make sure that it lives up to that hype. Let's go into the list. This list is going to go from least important to most important, so some of the things in the beginning aren't going to be crucial to the set, but they are cool things that I would certainly like to see. Number 1 is an updated Carbonite Han. As we all know, the Han hairpiece mold changed in the new UCS Death Star that recently came out. What that meant was that the old Carbonite Han piece became outdated because it has the old LEGO hair version of Han Solo molded into it. What this means now is that we have a new UCS Cloud City coming out. I have to imagine that the Carbonite Han Solo piece is going to be included, and it would be really silly for them to include the old piece with the old LEGO Han hair in it, but then still include the Han Solo hair piece that has been updated. So I think it's very crucial for them to make a new piece for that. It'll be useful because we'll finally have the updated Carbonite piece, and then we won't have to use the outdated one with the old Han Solo hairstyle. So this is a small thing that I'd like to see, but something I think that is definitely necessary. This isn't something that I feel will make or break the set. I just think it'll be really silly if LEGO has the Han Solo with the new hair mold, but use the old Han Solo Carbonite piece with the old hair mold. Number 2 is that there needs to be a Chewbacca figure with a broken C-3PO on his back. As we all know, C-3PO gets pretty messed up on Cloud City, and I think that we need a minifigure to represent this. That iconic scene where Han Solo gets dropped into the carbon freezing chamber is made even better by the fact that there's literally Chewbacca standing there with C-3PO in pieces on his back, talking to him, screaming that he can't see what's going on. So I think it'd be really cool for LEGO to reproduce that in some way. I think that would definitely have to make some sort of new mold for it, where Chewbacca's body piece would have to have like the C-3PO torso on the back, and then you could probably just pop the head on, and I think that would be sufficient. They could even do some printing for like the netting around him to kind of represent the backpack that Chewie has on. I think it's something that would really make the set different from any Star Wars set they've ever done, and this could really be a really valuable minifigure if they could somehow pull this off. So I'm hoping that that's something that they do. Number 3 is that they're going to need to include 2 different Leias in this set. The Leias that I'm talking about is first the one in her gown, and second the one during the escape from Bespin. I don't want for them to have to choose between the two. I think that we definitely need both of these versions of Leia. These are 2 versions of Leia that haven't really been made in an updated form. The only one that has ever even been made is the one with her in the gown, and that was in the first Cloud City set, but obviously that one's outdated. The detail isn't anywhere near the detail that we get on LEGO minifigures now, so we're going to need that Leia being made, but we're also going to need the Bespin Escape Leia, where she doesn't have her vest on and she just has on the all-white jumpsuit. It isn't really the most glamorous outfit, but it honestly is my favorite iteration of Leia because I like that sequence so much. So I think it's really important for LEGO to include 2 versions of Leia. She might be the only person in the set that has 2 different versions of her, but I still think it's going to be really necessary. They did the same thing in the Death Star. I mean, there's like 3 versions of Luke and 2 versions of Han in that set, so I think they can easily do this. It's not going to be something that is too far-fetched, but I think it is definitely necessary for us to have an all-encompassing setup of Cloud City. I don't really want for them to hold back on anything in this set. There's no need to hold off for future sets. It's been long enough when we haven't had Cloud City. No need to make us wait any longer for these figures. Number 4, arm printing and dual molding. we've seen that these things have been held back from LEGO Star Wars sets, and it's honestly kind of depressing. The fact that these things are something that we see used all the time in the superhero line, used all the time in the CMF line, but used very sparingly in the Star Wars line is honestly kind of concerning, but I really hope that they don't hold back in this set. The original Cloud City set is thought about to be a very classic set because of this reason, because it kind of pushed the boundaries for Star Wars minifigures. I think that Cloud City Boba Fett might have been the first LEGO minifigure that ever had arm printing. With that being said, I think that this set should also push the boundaries when it comes to minifigures and what LEGO can do with them. That's not even to say that they should do anything spectacular and new with them, but basically just do things that you don't ordinarily do with the Star Wars sets. This would be a great opportunity to give us a Bespin Luke with dual molded legs and have his boots. You could also even do Han Solo with his brown pants and a yellow stripe on the side, as well as his black boots. These are all things that I'd like to see them at least try for this set. It may not be something that like fits in with all the other minifigures, but I think if there were ever a time for them to introduce a lot of these things that we get a lot in other themes, but not so much in Star Wars, to Star Wars, this time is now. This set is something that was really special when it first came out, and I think that they should try to recreate that in some way by doing these things with the minifigures on this set. Number 5 is going to be kind of controversial. I don't know if a lot of people will agree with me, but I'm hoping that you guys at least hear me out. I think that this set should have a modular setup just like the old one. A lot of people were expecting for the set to be something like the Death Star set, where it'd be the shape of Cloud City and have like panels that open up for you to access the interior. And I say no, there's no need to do that with this set. For one, I don't think that the shape of Cloud City is iconic enough to be able to have something like that and have it be recognizable for someone who's not really a big Star Wars fan. I think that the Death Star is iconic in that way, but I don't think that Cloud City is that iconic in the way that it looks. Second, I think that it's just a waste of parts, honestly. Like, one of the worst parts about the Death Star UCS is the fact that it's kind of burdened by the shape, and what that means is that whenever you're having the rooms being built into it, you always have to take into account that there's like kind of built into a hemisphere of a circle, and it just gets in the way, and it's unnecessary, and there's no need to try to recreate these scenes in a shape that really isn't important altogether. Also, it's a waste of pieces. There's no need to waste parts on trying to preserve the shape or a structure of Cloud City when you can easily recreate the scenes on a base plate and have them all look like what they're supposed to look like and include all the detail and save on parts and have them go to where they're more deserved or more necessary. I hope you guys really understand this point. I know a lot of people are probably going to say that, no, I want this to, you know, have some sort of shape, have panels and stuff that fold out, but honestly for me, I think that it should be modular like the first one. It'll just allow for more pieces to be used in the actual build and not like preserving the shape and size of Cloud City. I think that it just would work out a lot better for the set, and we would get something that looks a lot more realistic. The trade-off with the Death Star is that because you have the circular shape, you fit a lot of scenes into it because they all kind of have a small compact space that they can fit into, but the issue is that no one of them looks very good. I would rather take the aesthetic of the actual rooms over trying to fit them into a nice compact shape that looks like Cloud City. Number 6 is actually going to build off of number 5. Number 6 is that I want them to utilize hallways. Cloud City is kind of characterized by the hallways. We see our characters run through them. We see Luke Skywalker sneaking through them when he's trying to save his friends. And I think this is something that they should capitalize on. I also feel like this is something that if they try to do a set that's just built into like a structure that looks like Cloud City, that they won't be able to do. This is another reason why I feel it's just absolutely necessary for them to do a modular setup with it. I think they need to utilize halls and have the rooms connected to each other in a creative way. The original set just literally had the rooms sitting right next to each other, and that's one of the worst parts about the set, because there's no, like, the scenes aren't like self-contained. They always kind of bleed over into what's connected directly next to it. But I think that they should utilize some sections that have hallways, and that can be a way to connect the entire build with the other sections. But that being said, it also should be modular, so you should be able to switch the orientation of these things around however you please, and I think that would ultimately make a much more engaging and fun set. And finally, number 7 is going to be the most important thing that LEGO has to add to this set to make it classic, and that is going to be to include the character of Wilro Hood. When you think of Cloud City, you think of Wilro Hood. They go together like peanut butter and jelly. There's no separating the two. They have to include this character in this set. If they don't, I'm not going to be buying it at all. LEGO needs to include Wilro Hood. Obviously, that last one was a joke. Honestly, I only could think of 6 things, but I wanted to have this be a list of 7, so I included the Wilro Hood thing. But yeah, those are my thoughts on the Cloud City set, guys. Like I said, this is something that I'm really looking forward to. Cloud City is a set that we haven't gotten in such a long time. I think this is a perfect time for LEGO to give us all the things that we've been missing out on the past 16 years of not getting a big Cloud City set, and I really don't want them to hold back. What do you guys want to see in this set? Are there certain things that you absolutely must have? Where do you fall on the debate between having it be modular or having it be some sort of shape, kind of like the UCS Death Star? What do you guys think would be better for a set? Let me know in the comment section below. Like I always say, guys, if you like what I do, go ahead, support the video by hitting the like button, support the channel by hitting the subscribe button, and I will be back again very soon.